Hello, Patriots, and welcome back to the Patriot Dad channel, where we can discuss current events, modern issues, and culture, all while keeping it as real as possible. Today, we're going to be bringing you the Officer Tatum's interview with Tom MacDonald. This video was recommended to us by our channel friend, Red Cat. So, thank you very much for the recommendation. Let's get it pulled up. It's about an hour long, so this is going to be a long one. Stick with it. I'm sure we're going to learn something new. But before we get started, I just wanted to let you know that during the ramp up to the 2024 election, the Rogue Dermatologists and the Patriot Dad channel are collaborating to bring you another great deal. In remembrance of the attempt on Trump's life, if you follow the link to trumpmug24.com, it'll take you straight here. Scroll down, add it to your cart, go to checkout, enter the code PDMUG, and you'll save 20%. Take advantage of this offer while it's still available. Now, back to the video. So take advantage of one of those offers, help support the channel, like the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video with friends and family, and let's get right into it.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and ladies? This is B. Tatum. Hey, I know that there's been a high anticipation for this interview.
Yes, sir.
I know, especially on my part, man, I've been dying to talk to this gentleman that I'm about to bring on. You know, I intentionally didn't try not to do too much research about him because I want to learn about my guests.
I love
just
it.
right along with you guys, ask them some questions, keep it real, keep it 100. There ain't gonna be no, pansy work. You know, we're gonna get into some stuff. We're gonna chop it up. We're just gonna keep it real. So I appreciate all of you guys. Shout out to the Hangover Gang for jumping in here and joining. Shout out to Nova. I think that's Tom's special lady. Shout out to her. And so without me running my mouth too much, I'm going to bring my guest in. I did some reviews, some reactions to some of his music videos. I think, in my personal opinion, he one of the coldest dudes that's out right now rapping about stuff that makes sense. A lot of people, they rapping, mumbling, and I don't even know what they talking about.
Well, and half the time, the lyrics are just garbage, just straight garbage. You look at most of the rap game, they're singing about hoes, they're singing about money, they're singing about cars, they're singing about empty stuff in life. Like, you see, Tom and Nova are rapping about real stuff that impacts real people. Got to give them credit where it's due. Hangover Gang, you've been amazing and very welcoming to me and my channel. I greatly appreciate you. Here you see Brandon also appreciates you guys. Probably the best community around right now.
Twerking on the devil and all kind of other stuff. But Tom is out here putting in the work. So without me running my mouth, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Tom MacDonald.
What's up, bro? What's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. I'm glad you came on. Good to see you in the flesh. Dude, I wanted to interview you because I've done reviews on a few of your rap songs, and I'm like, who is this dude, man? Got tats on his face, got a grill, you know what I'm saying? So I want to start by saying, man, thank you for coming on, but give me a rundown, bro. How did you go from your past to being one of the firest music artists that's out right now?
How long you got?
How long as you need, brother.
That's one of the things I really love about long form content, and that's something that I very much hope to bring to you all soon as well, is these long form interviews just give so much more flexibility. It's not all about 5-minute sound bites. It's not all about just getting in one good quote. You actually get to hear the real person talk.
Man, it was a wild ride, to say the least, bro. Like, I've been rapping since I was probably like 19. And sort of like when I started rapping, I was talking about all the same stuff that everybody else is talking about today, whether like the money and the clothes and the girls and the cars and blah, 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 all this type of stuff. And I did that for like a long time because I think I was a young kid and I wanted to be the cool rapper guy at the parties, and I wanted to be a musician and get the girls and get rich and famous and all that.
And if you do the same thing everyone else does, guys, you're not going to stand out. You're not going to differentiate yourself. That's where it's so important.
That type of stuff, the same reason that a lot of people decide to be musicians. Yeah. The thing is I was making, as a young man, I was making music that was imitating my favorite artists, which was 50 Cent and Dipset and Eminem and that type of stuff. So I'm talking about all types of gang stuff and guns and drugs and all this nonsense that I really didn't know anything about it.
And guys, I know I don't look it. I used to love rap music myself. I was a big Cottonmouth Kings fan. I liked Mac 10, some of the old West Side Connection rappers, Ice Cube. Like there were so many good, Tupac. Like, come on, man. I grew up in Southern California, California love, West Coast, baby. But I had to grow up too. But yeah, imitating the people that you want to be, you got to find a way to make it your own. And Tom did that so well.
That time. So the music didn't get any traction. So I did that for like a few years. And then what ended up happening was I had a really lengthy battle with alcoholism, which led to having a catastrophic sort of mental unraveling like 3.5 years ago. And I spent 9 months trying to figure out what was wrong with me and getting prescribed all type of different pills and reading and researching and meditating and trying to put myself back together. And sort of,
yeah, pharmaceuticals ain't going to do that, guys. Like I know so many people right now at work that they want everybody on some kind of pill. Everybody. They feed us garbage. They put us on antidepressants. They put us on weight loss drugs. It's just always a pill for everything, guys. And really, we just need to reevaluate our decisions. I stopped drinking like a year and a half ago now. Yeah. Basically, when I started going through my divorce, started eating better, started getting not as much sleep. The sleep I got was much more restful. It's so much more important that we just take care of our bodies first, guys. Bodies first. Can't drink, can't do drugs, can't do all this stuff to excess. It's just so bad for us.
What ended up happening was I spent 9 months in like the darkest place that I've ever been in my life.
That's a long time.
And when you spend 9 months in such an acute state of unwellness, you really get to know like what you're made of. And you really figure it out when you spend 24 hours a day for the better part of a year contemplating if you're going to wake up tomorrow or not.
Guys, this is not how you speed run becoming a rapper or a musician. Please don't do this on purpose. Sounds like this was unintentional for him. Guys, don't think this is advice. Don't put yourself through this kind of suffering just to be an artist. It worked out for him. It may not work out for you.
You learn a lot about yourself. So in that 9-month period, I sort of learned what was important to me, what I wanted to talk about in my music, who I wanted to talk about it to, who I wanted to speak up for. And I just sort of figured that out in the 9 months. And then I didn't make any music or do anything really for that year while I was going through that. I was barely eating, barely sleeping. I wasn't really speaking. I was living at my mom's house because I was like, literally, if it wasn't for my folks, I would have been on the streets, bro. Like, yeah, like I was totally done.
Man, close parents, good relationships are so important in life. My parents helped me out a great deal. Now that I'm a single dad, like they're such an immense help. They show up so often. They contribute. They make sure I'm doing okay. We all need that close support, whether it's friends, family, anything. We all need somebody. We can't do it alone. We can't fight these battles alone. I have a friend right now who's fighting a lot of that stuff fairly alone, and it's not good. Thoughts and prayers. I hope you pull out of it.
So yeah, I just figured out a lot about myself in that 9-10 months. And then when I came back and started making music again, I sort of like knew what my purpose was. And that's kind of where I'm at now.
So when you talk about, being at the lowest of the low, I mean, without getting into too many details or something that you may not want to tell the world, but man, I mean, how low were you? Because, a lot of times people go through a low and they have a testimony and that's how that will bring them out. But when you say low, are you talking like contemplating suicide? Like, what was the drug usage like? Or how low were you, man?
I mean, it was really bad, dude. Like, essentially, like,
you can hear it in his voice.
It started out like just going out on, weekends with my friends and getting drunk.
Gateway.
And then all of a sudden, like, we were having the best time ever when we were going out on Friday and Saturday night. So we wanted to have that best time as constantly as possible.
You can't keep chasing that though, guys. You can't keep chasing it. That is empty. It's so empty.
And before you know it, like, I'm going to bed with a case of beer next to my bed. So when I wake up in the morning, it's there. So I can drink one before I even pull the covers off and go about my business. And I never looked at it as, oh, I'm addicted to alcohol, I'm an alcoholic. I just looked at it as, hey man, I'm having a effing blast right now. I'm having a
Yeah, people that are in the middle of it, that are in it, they don't think that. They don't think it's a problem. It's the people around them that tend to notice it's a problem before they do. By the time you recognize that you have a problem, it's usually really, really late.
great time doing this. I have such a great time every time that I'm drunk. I want to be drunk all the time. And then that turned into, months and months and months on end of being drunk. And I don't know if it was,
he's lucky to be alive.
It was affecting my memory. It was affecting my mood. It was affecting every aspect of my life, and making poor decisions and feeling regretful all the time. And it was just the perfect storm of
shit tornado and a downward spiral. That's what that sounds like. It's not good. It's not good. I've been there. It's a dark place. It's not good.
Alcohol and probably mental unwellness that had gone under the radar for many, many years. And the constant drinking sort of lit the fuse on that powder keg. And all in one night, all of a sudden, I went to get up out of my bed, and I took a step and the whole room moved. And I took another step and the whole room moved again. And all of a sudden my heart's pounding out of my chest and I can't catch my breath and I can't see straight. And I'm laying on the floor with 911 dialed on my phone, just waiting. Like I was pretty sure I was going to die. And
was that your turning point, or was it something else that was like, okay, this is the moment I need to turn it all around? Like,
I got to get my shit together.
Point in which you turned the table and got the epiphany of saying, bro, I need to change the music. I need to change my lifestyle. And I listened to your music, bro. So where is Nova in this? You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
all this is going on.
I'll get into the Nova thing in a second, because that's like another low that we ended up getting into together that followed this whole thing. So I don't think it really was like one moment, man, because what ended up happening was, after this night where I sort of lost my mind, I spent like 2-3 days really confused, really out of it, dizzy all the time, couldn't eat, couldn't sleep. Like if I would cut up one egg and one piece of toast, I'd have one bite of it and I would gag to eat one egg and one piece. Like that's how bad the anxiety was.
Damn.
So that was happening. I couldn't sleep. I had my phone laying next to my head with a podcast playing, and I'd have my computer sitting next to my bed with a movie playing, because I was so ADD, like, and scatterbrained, that I needed noise to sort of quiet what was like going on inside me. So a few days of that happened. I had called my parents a few times, and I wasn't exactly sure how to express it to them, but I was like, hey, like, I'm not feeling well. Like,
yeah, I need help.
I feel like I'm scared all the time. Like I'm really worried about something. I don't know what that is. And I've been to the doctor and they gave me these pills, and these pills aren't working. That's some really, really just terrifying experiences with medication.
Yeah, I got put on Zoloft after my son passed away back in 2004. Bro, that was a weird experience. I did not like it one bit. I crashed my car and didn't give 2 Fs. No Fs. I was just like, nope, we're going to the bar anyway. Don't worry about it. Antidepressants are a crazy thing, man. They totally normalize the world. There's no more highs, no more lows. Everything is just mid. It's not a fun existence. I don't recommend it for anybody. I took myself off of them. Yeah.
And then what ended up happening was I called my mom one day when I was in a really bad place, and she didn't pick up, and I left a really scary voicemail on her phone, which I didn't realize at the time. I didn't realize how cryptic it was, but it sounded like I was about to check out. And then I wouldn't pick up my phone and I wouldn't talk to people because I was too messed up. So my mom had to call a friend of mine who ended up coming to my place, breaking into my house, packing my bags for me, wrestling me into his vehicle, driving me to the airport, getting me on a plane and sending me home.
Wow.
So it was weeks of accumulating turmoil that when I got to my mom's house for the first time and walked into the bedroom that I slept in as a child, and as a 25-year-old man walking into that bedroom, and I was just like, wow.
Like, why am I back
here?
Like,
I can't believe I'm back here right now. I really need to figure this out.
Yes, yes.
But it's a good thing that he had a close friend and his parents were close and that they could do that for him. There are so many people in this world that don't have those people, sometimes through faults of their own, sometimes not. But if you don't have those people to help pull you out, you might not come back. He was very fortunate to have people in his life that cared.
So the music industry, we all know what it looked like, man. You know, I hear you talk about in your music, you talk about the mumble rappers and all that other stuff. And you said that you were somewhere similar to like,
I still don't know what the hell mumble rap is, and I don't think I want to.
Rapping about that stuff because that's what that's what you kind of grew up on. Your favorite people was rapping about a certain subject matter. So what got you to like, because I haven't heard all of your music. Your first song that I heard was White Boy. I think that's what it's called, White Boy.
That's a good one.
And like what sparked you to like do that song? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to put it together. You come from, some of that hip hop rap music, destructive music, you got a hard pass, and at some point you turn it and say, bro, I'm finna make this song and I'm finna just express this. Like what got you into making that first song, White Boy?
Honestly, man, it came about like pretty organically. I'll give you the little preface to that. Like all the mental breakdown stuff happened, moved to California, and Nova, my girlfriend who shoots all my music videos, and she's also an incredible artist herself.
Does great work.
We've been friends for like 14 years. She put me on her first rap show. That's how we met. So she's in California at that time because she has a deal with Island Def Jam as a rapper. She's unreal. So I come out.
And on the channel, we've seen some of her stuff, and I look forward to much more.
And I stay with Nova for a little while and sort of like rekindle our friendship. And then I have some stuff happen in my life. My mental breakdown is, I'm starting to put myself back together, but I'm still kind of, all over the place. So we fall out for a little bit, reconnect a few months later, hit it off. Everything's cool. Nova and I are living in like the hood in LA. Like we're living in South Central. Like we got like holes
0
in
out
the
of
ceiling.
10.
There's water pouring through in the kitchen.
Do not recommend.
Crib's full of rats. Like if I go into the kitchen and it's dark and I turn on the lights, there's cockroaches crawling everywhere and stuff. Like I'm the only white person in probably like 20 miles in every direction, bro. Like crazy. Like everybody knows, oh, that's the house where that white kid with all the tattoos lives. Like that, So like our life's falling apart. We don't got no money for groceries. We don't got no money for rent. Like things, it's not good. And dude, it's like so crazy. It was like on some meant to be like universe, like by God, like blessed. Like it was crazy. Like I go outside one day, I got half a cigarette left in this cigarette pack. That's all I got to my name, bro. Like I don't even have $5. Like we don't have food, nothing.
He's so poor, he can't afford the R in poor. And I'm pretty sure one of you guys, and I'd have to go look it up, but one of you guys told me this story in my comments. And thank you very much for leaving me those comments. It's so helpful when I'm reacting to some of these videos blindly to get some of that backstory because it really helps connect things. Thank you to the people that leave those comments. Having heard this story before, I do look forward to hearing it straight from top.
I go out and I sit on the front porch with this half a cigarette. I light it. I smoke it and I write this song. By the time I'm done smoking that cigarette, I had written this song called Dear Rappers. And something just like clicked in my head that day when I wrote that song. And I came running into the house and I was like, Nova, I just wrote the song that's going to change our life. I swear to God, I just did it. Like, I was like, I need you to shoot the video right now.
She's like, what was in that last cigarette of yours, bro?
She's like, you haven't even recorded it. I was like, I'm going to record it. While I'm recording, set up the lights, pull the backdrop down. Like, let's get this thing done. So boom, 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 record it, shoot the video. I got no money to release this thing. I hollered at 5 homies. I borrowed like $100 from a couple of them and $200 from a couple other ones. I ended up with like $1,000. I put this music video on Facebook. I take the $1,000 that I just borrowed from like my sister and my homies. I use it to promote that video. And 2 days later, it had 1 million views, and like the rest is history.
Dang.
So yeah, like crazy. So this is how we get into White Boy. So Dear Rappers goes off, does really well.
Yes, sir.
So now I need a follow up for Dear Rappers, and there's hundreds of thousands of people.
And you can check out our reaction to that song If you haven't already, I appreciate the support.
People showing up at this point in time, and I don't have the infrastructure to deal with it. I don't have the knowledge of social media. Like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Yeah. So
like, I'm just a talent.
I come up with this other record called Hell of It, which was sort of like part 2 to the Dear Rappers. And it was just like criticizing the status quo of hip hop and the message in hip hop and the effect that it has on the youth and blah, 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 blah. So I do those 2 songs, and I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden there's like 50,000 people like on my Facebook and my Twitter, all calling me down saying that like, yo, like, you wrote these 2 songs criticizing black rappers. You're a racist, like blah, 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 blah. And I was,
how dare you be successful in our space? How dare you? Obviously, you're trying to appropriate. Obviously, you're just trying to do something that you don't belong in. This makes sense why White Boy got created.
I was like, yo, you guys.
It's not
like,
race.
I'm not criticizing rappers of a particular color.
Just
I'm
all
criticizing rappers of a particular content.
All of you.
And you've taken that way out of context. So you have something to be angry about on the internet. Now there's all these people calling me a racist and blah, 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 blah.
Chasing clout.
And
it's good to see that the internet hasn't changed much.
Being the only white boy in that neighborhood and hearing all of this stuff that people are saying on the internet, again, was just like this perfect mixture of angst and anger and just feelings that I was having. And I just put all that into a record. And that was White Boy. And little did I know that that was going to cause 50,000 times the amount of bullshit that the other songs caused.
Yes, it did. And you can also check out our reaction to that song as well. I think that was one of my first early videos that I reacted to his as well. Great song. I can definitely see why it caused a kerfuffle, but great work, Tom.
Yeah, bro, that song was fire, bro.
Yes, it was.
I mean, that's the first time I heard of you, but then I didn't connect the songs, the more recent songs with that one. But that White Boy song, if for the people that's on here, I'm interviewing Tom MacDonald. You can see his name on his next to his face. One of the most incredible rappers that I've heard. But that White Boy song, if people haven't listened to it, at some point y'all got to check it out. But you're in the classroom, and it's funny because I got to ask you this too. I'll get to it in a second because I'm wondering like how did you get these people coordinated to do this, because you got a couple brothers in there and they all kind of like playing along with it. But I mean, you in this music video saying what every American wants to say. I'm talking about reasonable American. I'm not talking about these lunatics on either side.
Correct. Reasonable people. Reasonable. That's the key. Reasonable. Man, Tom just has such a way with lyrics and the messages and everything. And Nova, the way she does the videos, it's just such an amazing group. And his followers, the Hangover Gang, y'all are so much fun and so supportive.
I'm talking about reasonable Americans are like, you can see that there's an attack on white men in America. And somehow if you got white skin, you somehow associated with slavery and
white
all
devil.
of this stupidity. So how did you get those people to cooperate? Like, how did you get that music video together? And how do you think that changed who you are or who you were or who you are today as an artist? Like, did that have a pivotal step for you as an artist?
Okay, so the way it came together, and I'll get into the second part, but the way it came together was, dude, I wrote that song and I rewrote that song and rewrote it and rewrote it and rewrote it until it was in a place where I felt like I was actually saying what I wanted to say. Good. People couldn't take what I was saying out of context. They couldn't distort the message, which they ended up doing anyway. So which I should have known, but didn't have the experience at that time, which is fine.
Yeah, the internet is going to take whatever you say and twist it. But it's good to see that he's at least learning and iterating, because he took what happened with the first song and all the fallout and people taking things out of context, and he tried to address it up front. He tried to make it as clean of a message as possible. A lot of respect there, man. A lot of people just want to get something out and they don't put that kind of thought into it. Smart.
But dude, like that neighborhood that I was living in, I knocked on my neighbor's door one time at 9 p.m. at night, and he opened the door with a gun in my face. Dang. Like it's a tough neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I knew who my neighbors were, and none of them were white. And I invited all of those guys into my house to listen to that song before I ever decided, hey, I want to shoot a music video to this. And
that is ballsy.
These guys are not, they're not playing. Like,
yeah,
I'm not going to name drop and that type of stuff, but like, these are serious people.
Yeah.
So I brought them into my house. I showed them the song and we discussed it. And there was like some objections to some of the things I was saying, and which I even like, I didn't disagree with. Like, I see both sides of it. Like, I get it. Like, I understand that like what I'm saying is going to ruffle some people's feathers and it's not going to fit the narrative that other people live their life by. Like, I get it.
You know what, though? I totally appreciate that he did this and his ability to look at multiple perspectives. That kind of thinking, that kind of compassion, that kind of analysis and making changes and being willing to adapt. That is something that not many people are willing to do. Many people have too much of an ego to do that. So it shows a lot of maturity and a lot of humility for him to do that, because most people would just say, I'm putting this out, I don't care. It's also kind of smart from a preservation standpoint. If you're living in a neighborhood like that, probably get some input before you drop that one when you're the only white guy, like he said, within like 20 miles in every direction. So some self-preservation, but definitely a lot of emotional intelligence there. That was smart.
But we were able to all talk about it. And at the end of the day, shake hands. Okay, have a good day, guys. Still ate barbecue with them. Still.
You know what, though? That we need so much more of that in society. We need to be able to talk, discourse, debate, be amicable with each other. And like he said, in the end, even if you disagree, shake hands, walk away, and don't just be angry with each other. Like, that kind of division and hatred is so rampant nowadays. It's just so destructive.
Worked out with them in the mornings. Never had another problem about it. So that conversation with those guys kind of was like, gave me the confidence to like, okay.
Yeah, I can release this.
They didn't necessarily like everything that I was saying. They understood it though. And at the end of the day, like, we're all still neighbors and we're all still friends and there's no problem. So when I cast the music video, I thought it would be unfair to bring, like you said, there's a couple brothers in there. So I thought it would be unfair to bring everybody into that classroom environment and then just be like, okay, we're shooting a music video. Like, too bad for you, motherfuckers. Like, you're stuck here now. So what I did was I stood at the front of the classroom with those 20 folks in there, and I played the song for them. And I said, if anybody has any objections to what you just heard, if anybody does not want to be in this music video, you'll still get paid. You're free to go right now. You do not have to be here. I'm not holding anybody's feet to the fire. You are free to leave.
Respect.
This is the song I'm making. This is the music video we're shooting.
Hell yeah.
And I opened up the floor to let people raise their hands and have a conversation. I think one or two people did. They didn't really say anything. They didn't really object too hard, and everybody chose to stay. And we shot the music video.
There you go.
That's lit. I was waiting. I when I first heard it, I was like, man, if I ever meet this dude, I'm gonna ask him, how in the world did you get these people to be in that music video and cooperate? Because I feel like they all played a really good part and they were really their characters.
And that's because he respected them enough to get their opinion up front and give them that opportunity. Like, that's an amazing extra bit of information, amazing story.
You were just in there going hard. So I want to transition to a couple other things, so we can hit a few sections, because I know people want to hear a lot about the things that you think about.
Yes, sir.
We talked already kind of a little bit where you come from. Sure. We'll get to some more Nova questions here soon, because my people have asked me about Nova 1,000 times. It's the whole section about Nova, but okay. we'll get to that in a second. But what is your take on the current music industry today, and how do you think what you do impacts that? I mean, do you think you have an impact, or do you think that what you're doing is not really going to affect the music industry? So 2 questions. What is your thoughts on the current music industry? When I say music industry, I mean in your genre.
Before he answers, if you're watching me, I'm smiling. I've been watching Tom's face as Officer Tatum has been asking this question, and you can see his face light up like he's interested in this question. It's interesting to look at. Like, I'll go back just a little bit. watch his face.
Do impacts that? I mean, do you think you have an impact, or do you think that what you're doing is not
There's
really going to affect the music industry? So 2 questions. What is your thoughts on the current music industry? When I say music industry, I mean in your genre. Like, I think you lean more towards hip hop, rap music, even though some of your stuff is kind of like rock.
Sure.
But those 2 questions, if you can get them for me.
Man, honestly, I just feel like hip hop and rap has just sort of become expendable, and it's just become sort of like a vehicle for other things, whether that
it seems like it's marketing, guys. It's lifestyle marketing. It's all about getting people to chase money, chase cars, chase women, chase whatever. It's a lifestyle marketing. It's like lifestyles of the rich and famous and cribs all rolled into one, and it's so repetitive. So repetitive.
That's clothes or liquor or Beats by Dre headphones or whatever the case may be.
Marketing.
I feel like hip hop's kind of become a vehicle for those things. It's
shoes.
It's disappointing
Yeezys.
When you look back at where everything started and like fight the power, fight the man, screw the system.
Yep.
It's disappointing to see how commercialized it's become. But I mean, that's the natural progression of things. I'm not big on the a few years ago, it seems to take these sort of wild turns, like every now and again. It went from like fight the system and protest to like guns and drugs and gang stuff to now it's kind of like Xanax and lean and party culture. And it's just like, to me, like that's not what I want to hear. And at the end of the day, like,
me neither.
I'm not going to lie, bro. There's like some really incredible, amazing artists out there who are very talented that are talking about these types of subject matters. So I think that I think what the listener needs to do is just, I don't think that it's detrimental to listen to this stuff as long as you understand what you're listening to.
Yes, absolutely. And most people don't. Especially when you're younger, kids just listen to this stuff. They just soak it up. They don't think about context. They don't think about the differences in lifestyle. They don't think about so many parts of it. And they just listen. And they're like, I can treat people this way. I can get money this way. I can do these things just like they're saying in the video, just like they're saying in the music. Like I said, I used to enjoy rap. Obviously, I didn't take any of it as advice. I just enjoyed the beat, the rhythm, the bass, so much of it.
Like that's the thing, is like, if you're gonna go eat at McDonald's every single day and you don't understand that you're consuming garbage and you're killing yourself slowly because you don't have the knowledge, that's an issue. But if you are aware of what you're eating, and it's the same with music, if you're aware of what you're consuming, then maybe you don't let it influence your life or have a negative impact.
Or maybe you just choose to consume it less.
And that's like what's important to me. So I think the genre right now is arguably more successful than it's ever been, period. Like, rap has become pop music. It is the music of the people these days. Like, it's incredible. I think the messages are super distorted and are contributing to the unwellness of especially the youth in the country. But
yes,
as long as they can understand what they're listening to, it should be fine. You know,
I don't think they can.
Yeah, no, 100%. I agree with you 1,000%. You know,
and I sound like an old stuffy white Christian person when I say that, but like, I don't think the kids nowadays, I don't think they can differentiate. I just see how people treat each other, and I hear how people talk to each other. I don't think these people are differentiating very well.
I say the same thing that you say, is that if you got to understand that it is affecting you psychologically, no matter who you are, no matter what you're listening to it, you're ingesting it, you're watching imagery. It's going to mess with your psyche. And do you want to infiltrate, or you want to overload yourself with this certain music? I'll give you an example just real quick, and then we'll get more to the interview. But I remember I used to listen to this K-Love, which is like a Christian radio station that plays nonstop music without commercials. And it's like listeners supported. And I remember they have a 30-day challenge, and I took that challenge, and I decided to listen to K-Love for 30 days. And it's all Christian inspiring music. Dude, and my whole body felt different. Like my mind, my body, I was positive.
Here in the DC area, we got WGTS 91.9. Same thing. nonstop music, except for when they're doing their fundraisers. But yeah, 91.9 here in the DMV area, 100%. Listen to it for 30 days, felt completely different.
It was uplifting. And I also, at a point in my life, listened to, I just said his name, Kevin Gates. I listened to Kevin Gates one time, and I binge listened to him. I was listening to all of his music. And bro, I get violent. You know what I'm saying? Like my attitude is bad. I'm driving down the road, going to hit people up with gang signs. I'm like, dude, the old Brandon is coming out of me when I listen to this music. So how do you think your music, because to me, you rap about conscious stuff. Like somebody can, like, I feel like I know you a little bit based on your music, but how do you think your music is affecting people moving forward?
Honestly, man, like, it's difficult. It's really hard to say how it actually is affecting people, because if there's one lesson I learned, especially from stuff like White Boy, it's that I can have my own personal intentions with something. And when I put it out into the world, it's like the rest of the world takes ownership of it, and
it becomes a living thing. It has a mind of its own. Like it just does things that you would never expect.
It may or may not distort what my intentions were, and based on their interpretation of it, can affect them in different ways. But what I can say is that, like, I spent the majority of my life being a loser and being a loner and being an addict and being a weirdo and being one of the people that just got forgotten about and fell through the cracks. So what I hope people get from my music is I hope it just empowers them.
Find your niche
and can help be the rope that they can pull themselves out of their hole with. Like that's really,
just don't do anything else with that rope, folks. Pull yourself out of the hole. Don't do anything else with it.
That's my whole thing, man. It's like music at the end of the day. And I hate to say it because it sounds so cliche, but music really did save my life, man. Like I spent 9 months, wanting to die. I spent a couple years in, like I said, in the hood, like struggling to survive and stuff. And music really just like saved my life. So when I make music that makes me feel good, I hope I can put that out into the world and it makes other people feel good. To me, that's like the greatest reward from all of this. So I hope it's empowering, and I hope it affects people similar to the way that radio station changed Gear Day, man.
And his music does have a much better, more positive impact when you listen to it. It definitely feels different than most rap that I've listened to in my life. And guys, I got to give you credit too. The Hangover Gang community, the Hangover Gang family has been so incredible. It's so welcoming, so kind, always in the comments, always leaving good messages. Obviously, his music has a good influence because y'all are amazing people.
Yeah, and I think it has, man. I tell you what, personally for me, you give me an opportunity to bang some rap music and some good beats and like have a message behind it, and not have to roll my windows up, turn my music down when I come through an intersection. Because
like some Office Space? What is this? That is how I felt sometimes growing up though, bro. Like you've been listening to some Cottonmouth Kings or some Tupac or Mac 10. Oof, yeah, you pull up to an intersection in a white suburb listening to that, you might turn it down a little bit and roll up a window.
Somebody talking about sucking and doing all kind of crazy stuff. Like,
whoa.
And then it also, I think we're very similar because I feel like that I talk about the things that you rap about. Like you rap about the music that you made, the one song that I did a review on, it's got almost 1 million views, The Fake Woke. It's like that's the same stuff I be saying like on when I present stuff, and then you said the same thing in a music video. So I'm jamming Fake Woke, and I'm just like, yeah, man, I had the windows down. I'm like, I'm like a witness to the people. I'm like, I need everybody to hear this. Y'all hear that Fake Woke? You know what I'm saying? So, I think that's great. But I'm gonna do a couple rapid fire because some of them.
We're gonna have to get to that one because I don't think we've reacted to that one on the channel.
Some of the people that follow me had some questions, and I think they asked some really good stuff. Sure. I'm gonna try to make it to where you can bang them out. So what is the day in the life of Tom MacDonald? Because we know you do music, you write music, you're doing music videos, you're doing all kind of stuff. Like, what does a day look like for you? I mean, are you hustling every day? Are you taking the weekends off, or is it only in seasons? So what's like a day for you?
Wake up, do social media. That's a super fun part of my life that I have to upkeep every day.
Yeah.
Wake up, social
Takes
media,
a lot.
hit the gym. I got a full gym set up out here outside, so I work out every day. Come in, eat breakfast, and then depending what's on my plate for the day. Lately, I've been writing songs because I'm trying to wrap up my solo album right now. So I'm spending a lot of time writing. If I'm not writing, I'm shooting videos. If I'm not shooting videos, I'm designing merch. If I'm not designing merch, I'm uploading songs to TuneCore. If I'm not doing that, I'm getting my mail outs ready. If I'm not doing bro, Nova and I do 20-hour days of work, bro. Like it's intense.
Bro, and I believe you, dude. I mean, you got to see, I had to hire a few people because I'm just overwhelmed. Like I'm overwhelmed. Like media, people reaching out to me, booking engagements. I have a store like you do, you know. And by the way, what's your store? So people, you know, you have a merch store, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's hangovergang.com.
Oh, Hangover Gang. That's what everybody talking about in the thing. I thought it was maybe like a little group you had, but hangovergang.com is where you could get Tom MacDonald's merch. And dude, I'm doing some similar stuff, you know.
I mean, it's tattooed on his lower lip. Just saying.
You probably doing a lot more than I am because I don't have to write anything down. I just get on here and run my mouth, but it's a full-time 24-hour a day, 7-day a week gig. I say I'm gonna take Sundays off, and I never take Sundays off. Are you kidding me? Somebody's calling me about something, if it's family, personal, or it's business, you know. So I
dropped a music video on Christmas, bro. Like for real. Like I dropped one on like December 15th or something, and then Nova's like, cool, like let's take Christmas off. And I was like, yeah, we'll definitely take Christmas off. Then like 3 days before Christmas, I'm like, hey, I gotta like shoot this video for this song, we'll release it on Christmas. And she's just like, fuck.
Guys, but you know what, that is so important because everyone wants to take holidays off, everyone wants to take weekends off, everyone wants to take extra time off. Guys, stop taking time off. People that actually accomplish shit in life don't take days off. They just don't. Like, you got to work every single day. And people are going to hate you when you're successful. And they're going to say, oh, you got lucky. Oh, you did this. Oh, you know, this just happened. It's like, no, I showed up and I worked every single day. Just like Tom's talking about, just like Officer Tatum's talking about. I'm up at 4:15 every morning and I'm in bed about 11 o'clock. That's every day. Weekends. Weekdays, single dad, like nothing waits. Got to work every single day. If you're not working every single day, you're falling behind because your competition is also working every single day. They thank you when you take days off. Don't do that. Don't take days off. Don't do it.
But bro, people they got to understand like how you came from a bad, dark place and how you are successful now. I mean, you got to grind. Ain't nothing gonna be handed to you. You don't get no. Where's your white privilege card?
What I just finished saying.
If you got a white privilege debit card, somehow you were swiping through the struggle. I mean, let me have that one because that ain't happening. I want to ask you. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, like, that's the thing, man, is like some people out here that are musicians and stuff, they're grinding because they want more. They want more money, more cars, more clothes, more girls, more houses, more. And me, bro, like I'm working 20-hour days and breaking my back for this because I don't ever want to go back to having nothing.
Yep. You see that constantly. I hear it a lot from fighters, from mixed martial arts, or from other areas where they're successful. Guys, usually it's the people that start at rock bottom who are extremely poor. They get that exact same message Tom just talked about. I never want to go back. It was succeed or die, or succeed and homeless. There's no other choice. That's the people that succeed in life because they look back and they say, I have no other choice but success, because to fail is death. Those are the people, like he just mentioned, that do so much and go so far because in their head there is no choice.
And that's like really it. Is like, I don't need more. I just don't want to fall back into that place where there's scraping cockroach guts off my plates before I can eat my breakfast and stuff, you know? So
the struggle is real, bro. The struggle is real. And I think it's a blessing though. Because some people, they go through stuff and they be like, oh man, why did I have to go? No, it is a blessing. You're getting set up for success. If you come over the hump, if you stay there, you're gonna die in it. If you come over the hump, you ain't gonna never stop grinding, because you ain't never going back to that. So who is your favorite artist right now? If you had to pick one person, I know that's probably incredibly difficult. If you had to pick one, or maybe even if you throw out about 2 or 3, if it's easier, who's your favorite artist out right now? Like, you could say nobody if you
say Nova.
Just like
other than you, man, other than yourself.
Artist period, or like in my genre?
Dude, no, artist period. Like, who's making music right now that like inspire you?
Dude, I'm a huge Post Malone fan. I love Posty. Ozzy Osbourne just released an album maybe like 6-7 months ago that is extraordinary. Like, I listen to that a lot. But I really came up on like classic rock is like what my dad introduced me to, like Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, Steppenwolf, Joe Cocker, Cyndi Lauper, the Beatles, stuff like that. So I listen to a lot of classic rock. But as far as hip hop goes, like, honestly, man, I really mess with Posty, and DaBaby is just like such good vibes to me, bro. Like, I think he's just great. So
I have not listened to either one. Do you guys think I should? Leave a comment. Let me know if you think I should listen to Posty or DaBaby. I don't know. If there's a good song of theirs, you just let me know. I'll do a reaction to it.
So that's what I got going on right now. But when I work out in the mornings and stuff, and I listen to a lot of like 90s alternative rock and like 2000s post rock, like
90s
Stained
best
and Puddle of
decade.
Mud and Nickelback and corny stuff like that.
My wife tell me, I don't know Nickelback, and I don't know who else I told her. Linkin Park. I said, babe, I listen to Linkin Park. She like, oh, you suck. You so corny. Listen to Linkin Park. But like, people don't know, when I work out, I listen to it, and this is probably just as corny, but I listen to like Linkin Park. I listen to Chevelle. Like, Chevelle is my favorite rock band. Like, I mean, I don't even know if that's considered rock or alternative rock, but Chevelle go hard. Like, their music is like a crescendo, dude. Like, it's
Tool, Mudvayne, so many good. Oh, so good. And just recently on the channel and around, All That Remains. I hadn't heard their stuff before. Great stuff. Great stuff. Great work, Phil.
Like, they started out with a creep, and then it's like boom, 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 boom. And I throw my back out listening to that music.
Yeah, you feel like you're gonna tear the steel off the bar listening to Chevelle, right?
Bro, I feel like I'm a superhero. I'm just gonna bust out of my shell in the gym. I had dudes when I was working out real hard. I had a big old dude come up to me and say, bro, I don't know what you be doing, bro, but you intense. I'm like, bro, it's this Chevelle I'm listening to. They got me on another level. So, but I got a couple more questions I want to ask you, and I'm gonna try to make them quick. So, when you were growing up, did you grow up with two parents, or did you grow up in a single parent household?
Both my parents.
Yeah, both your parents. Do you have siblings?
I have a sister. Yeah.
A sister. Y'all close or y'all
younger? No, that's the homie, man. Like, that's
the homie.
That's one of my road dogs. Yep.
So, people love to ask about Nova. I know this is a personal question. I don't know how you feel about marriage, but my audience said, when you and Nova gonna get married?
I'm convinced that Nova sent out like a mass email to my entire email list or something. Like,
everybody ask, when are we gonna get married? Everybody ask.
Because, dude, every single time I get on live stream, it's just a wall of people being like, when are you gonna propose, dog?
Oh, bro, you got a winner chicken dinner, dude. You got a woman out there grinding with you through the mud, and now y'all successful together. She cutting the videos. Now, I don't know, she probably get on your nerves every day in real life, but to everybody else, it's like, bro, you got a winner. You know what I'm saying? Other women ain't gonna hold you down.
We get on each other's nerves, bro. That's how it goes. Like, we've known each other for 14 years. Yeah. Like, we've been together in a relationship for 5 years. So, like, I could not. The rest of my life isn't even long enough to count the number of times that we've pissed each other off.
Yeah.
Like I would die counting. But I don't know when I'm going to ask Nova to marry me, but she's been watching all of these Married at First Sight and like all these marriage shows. Like, there's another 30-Day Fiance. Like, she's been watching all this stuff. I don't know if it was a subliminal plan but I've been walking around the house thinking about how I'm going to propose for the last 2 weeks.
Hey, bro.
Dude, it's a trap. Damn, he got set up. That's all right, though. If you find a girl that's real ride or die like that, I can respect it. I'm twice divorced, though, man. Like, it's going to be real hard for me to find someone like that. Let me tell you. Not many girls are like that nowadays. He's lucky. Tatum ain't joking. He found a real one.
Women are smart, man. They put the spirit out there in the atmosphere. Oh, yeah. You start looking at it.
She's like, oh, babe, I made you lunch. You should come sit down and eat it with me. And I'm like, cool. What are we watching? She's like, oh, 30 Day Fiancé. Okay.
It's a trap.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro, women are on it, man. My wife watch it all the time. She still watches it. We married. And I'm like, and to be honest, it's like we get on each other's nerve too. Like people may think that like when you in a serious relationship with somebody you in love or whatever, that somehow it's just perfect. Y'all walk around,
That's that Disney bullshit, man. We can't have that crap on TV no more. These kids coming up thinking that when you're in a relationship and if you're in love, everything's going to be happily ever after. It's such horseshit. You get mad at each other. Relationships they're work. They are. It happens. But you know what? When you're committed to somebody, that's supposed to mean something, right? You do your job. You provide provision, protect. She makes the house a home, does her part, you do your part. It's supposed to be a partnership, and it's a committed relationship. Man, people nowadays do not understand what that means. The movies, Disney, everyone has lied to us.
Kissing each other's rear end all day. It's like, no. I be wanting to go sleep in the guest house sometime. I'm like, man, you know what? I'm sick of you, especially because I snore at night and she be waking me up and I be in the rage. I'm like, what, man? I can't help it. Dang. If you were asleep, you wouldn't hear me snoring. But
facts.
Anyway, but Canada. You from Canada, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hey. You moved to the US, right?
Correct.
Or no? Yeah. So somebody asked me, they said, what made you leave Canada and why did you want to move to the United States? If you want to answer that, I don't know how.
Yeah.
I don't know
No, sure, man. Yeah, just honestly, like, I guess part of it was, wanted to break into the music industry and knowing that America was the hub for that. But
yeah, I don't think there's a lot of big music coming out of Canada when it comes to the rap game, is there? Maybe someone can correct me down in the comments, but I don't remember hearing about South Central Toronto.
Really, like the biggest thing was I just never felt at home in Canada. And I went on tour through Europe a couple times, once with Onyx and once with Kool Keith. And I went to all these places, Paris and London and Amsterdam and Greece.
Beautiful countries, by the way.
Greece and Athens, all these different places. And I just thought that like somewhere out there, I was going to find the place that felt like home. And
somewhere over there.
And that's where I was going to move. And that's where I was going to build my family. And that's where I was going to do my thing. And after those 2 tours, I just never came across a place that felt like home. I got back to Canada, and then Nova was like, hey, why don't you come hang out in the States for a couple of weeks and see how you like it? And I was like, okay, bet, like, let's do that. So I came out here. I was here for 2 days, and I was like, this is home. Like, this is the first place I've ever felt at home. I went back and forth across this country 3 or 4 times now. I've been in pretty much every single state. There's just something about the spirit of the American people that just resonates with me. Like, it just does. Like, I just feel at home here. So
yeah, bro, you look American, bro.
Respect.
You look American. Somebody say you from Canada. I'm like, what? He look like he from America. I don't know no Canadian people with tats and piercings and all kind of rapping, and I'm like, bro, he American. Canada. So yeah.
Yeah, from the main streets of Winnipeg. Like, I don't know. What part of Canada is he even from? Makes me feel like I should know that at this point. Let's ask. I just asked co-pilot. Tom MacDonald is from Vancouver, British Columbia. Spent his early years there before moving around between Alberta and British Columbia. Like I said, I probably should have known that by now. But yeah, he definitely doesn't look Canadian. I don't really know what a Canadian looks like. Who's a couple of famous Canadians? I don't know what a Canadian's supposed to look like now that I think about it. Pretend I didn't say that.
You right where you belong. So people want to ask some more questions. This is some pre stuff. So, are you political at all, man? you know, I know we talked last night a little bit, but I didn't get a chance to ask you, are you political at all, or are you stay away from politics?
Honestly, man, like, you know, if I said like, no, I'm not political, then people would be like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
Listen to all your songs, Mike.
The anti-woke stuff, obviously he's somewhat political.
Guy, like, you're a politician, my guy. But I don't know, man. Like, dude, like, I don't watch the news. I don't subscribe to any one political party. I don't endorse either side.
The political parties are trash. Just to let you know, both trash.
None of that. I just, that's one thing about America that like really did not exist in Canada. The potency that the politics have here, and the fact that they're sort of at the forefront of everything. It's like
two-party
flip
system
on Instagram and there's a billion Joe Biden memes. Like you flip on Facebook and it's just, you know, cancel culture this, politicians that. Like, it's just everywhere here. It's like a huge part of the American culture, which is not something that I was used to in Canada. And like we talked about, sort of the type of music you listening to and digesting that and how it affects you as a person. Just seeing all of this stuff online and digesting it in mass amounts on a constant basis, it's just affected the type of music I write. And like, I'm not an expert. I've never claimed to be an expert. Like I said last night, I get asked to go on these political podcasts and I feel like a fish out of water. Like, I'm not qualified to be talking about that type of stuff. Because to me, it's just like, I read some political nonsense online. I have a feeling about it. I remember it and I put it in a song, and that's really it.
Yeah,
that makes sense, actually. And I can understand that. If being invited on a political type podcast as a musician, especially if you don't have hard political stances, that would be kind of awkward, I would think. So makes sense.
I mean, that's kind of how I felt, man. You know, a funny thing about me is that sometimes I wish that I wasn't even in the politics. It's a dirty, nasty, you know, and you get on here, you say something and everybody love you one day, and you say something controversial about, even if like I'm more conservative. I'm a conservative. I'm a Trump supporter or whatever. I'm pretty sure if you've seen any of my stuff, you know that that's how I feel. But if I say something criticizing Trump, man, people come after you, boy. They wanna cancel you. I used to subscribe. Now I hate you. It's like it kind of get old. So, you know, I feel you on that one, man. So somebody said, what kind of shoes is he going to come out with? So you coming out with some shoes, or somebody got some secret information, or what?
Nah, but there's
there's
definitely not going to be. I said to my girlfriend this morning, I said,
no
yo,
Yeezys.
like, Lil Nas X is making a bag off these human blood shoes. I was like,
what the fuck?
I want to take a picture with one of my work boots and fill this fucking thing up with milk and just be like, yo, I'm selling these shoes. They come with fucking 4 liters of cow milk in them. I was like,
spoiled milk in them.
Oh.
Yeah, so no shoes for me, but when they do drop, and I hope eventually I get that type of opportunity, no human blood in the soles of my kicks.
Yeah, bro, I'll buy your shoes though for sure. What is somebody said? What's your first tattoo, bro? Because you tatted.
He's got a few. It's actually a good question. What was your first?
I ain't even that tatted. I got some stuff on my forearms. I thought I was gangster. I mean, you tatted up, man. What was your first tattoo?
First one was oh man, I can't believe you guys are making me do this. It's this one down my forearm.
It says passion? Is that what that says? I think.
Forearm, it says passion. I was 16 years old. I was a pro wrestler at the time. And apparently I was so fucking passionate about being a pro wrestler, I had to get it tattooed on me. So
that said passion.
Bro,
that's hardcore, man.
That's funny. So do you have any like other talents? Because obviously you can rap, obviously. And I think rapping is more, you can think. Like, you're a thinker. You use your brain. Your brain is a talent. So do you have any other like hidden talents? Like, do you play the guitar? Can you sing or something that people may not know?
Yeah, I sing a bit. Obviously, I rap. I make all my beats too, so I don't know if that's a skill, but I produce a lot. And I make all Nova's beats, so I produce for her. And yeah, I play the guitar, and I draw a lot. Like, I draw pictures and do a little bit of painting. I'm a pretty crafty dude. Sure.
Yeah. So you're talented. Okay. So people want to know. Some people want to know what are your thoughts about like Jesus, Christianity? Because you made a song called Church. I was going to do a review today. But
okay, I was like, where's that coming from? Like, Why do we just make a jump into the religious side? That's kind of crazy.
Some people want to know what are your thoughts about like Jesus, Christianity, because you made a song called Church. I was going to do a review today before I brought you on because I want to review it and put it out there so people get kind of like it's almost a little teaser for this live stream. But my baby was cutting up. He was cutting up, boy. He was cutting up. He was throwing up, cutting up, farting, pooping. So y'all don't do the kid thing. Don't do that.
That's part of being a dad, man.
Yeah, bro. So he was cutting up, but so I didn't get to do it. So everybody's talking about that song. Right. I didn't when I first heard the first like 10 seconds of it, or before I was like, yeah, I gotta review this one. And I didn't know much about it. Didn't sound too really extremely religious. But so what's your take on it, man? Like, what's your take on the God and Christianity and religion and stuff like that? Just briefly.
What do y'all think?
Yeah. It's kind of similar to politics for me, where I believe in something. I'm not sure what that something is. I don't know if it's a carpenter named Jesus, if it's a fat dude named Buddha, if it's an 8-armed elephant, if it's Shiva. I don't know what it is. I think that at the end of the day, a lot of people don't know what it is, and they pick what suits them best, which is representative of good. And I believe in good and evil, and I'm not sure if that is God and the devil, or I'm not exactly sure what that is. I've been to church. I have Bibles at my house. I have other books that are about life written by Christians and stuff. I'm interested in it. I read it, and I want to fall on the right side of the fence. But
I mean, don't we all? Yeah, I think in general, it makes a lot of sense. A lot of people are very religious. You even see this with Tim Pool. You see this with a lot of other people. They recognize that there's a greater power out there. They just don't know what it is. And that's fine. I enjoy Christianity. I am a Christian. I enjoy the church that I found out here. It's great pastor, great people, very welcoming. So yeah, definitely a Christian myself, but I definitely understand why people struggle with trying to figure out where they fall in this whole thing.
Just for example, when I was on tour in Europe, I went to the Vatican, and it was one of the most incredible things I've ever seen in my life. And I remember looking up at this building and how massive it was and how impressive it was and how much money is generated and owned by that institution. And I'm looking up at this, thinking about these things. And I remember looking to my left, and there was this man standing 10 feet away from me. And I could see his toes sticking out the end of his shoes. His hair was down his back. His face was dirty. His shirt was ripped up. He looked like he hadn't had a shower in 6 months, and he was just clutching a Bible, just looking up at this massive, impressive, rich institution. And just seeing that contrast was enough for me to just be like, yo, I'm cool with believing in God. I'm cool with believing in Jesus. I'm cool with being a Christian. I'm cool with spirituality. But the second that man tries to take these sort of unexplainable things in life and organizes them in order to monetize, I have an issue with that.
Yep, 100%. I agree with that. That's probably why I'm a Protestant. But yeah, the Catholic Church has always been a conundrum to me. A lot of the Orthodox religions have been a conundrum to me for a lot of it for this very reason. You have such opulence up at the front in the sanctuary and so much poor outside. I feel like we're called to be more charitable than that. I don't think we're supposed to concentrate wealth in the church in that way. I think we're supposed to use those resources to help people. So I struggle with some of that too, Tom. I totally get it. Makes sense.
Yeah, bro. I agree with you, man. I agree with you. No, go ahead. I hope I didn't cut you off.
No. So I've just never decided to subscribe to any one particular belief. I can tell you that definitely in the hardest times of my life, bro, when I was going through that darkness, when I had that mental breakdown, I was praying. I don't know who I was praying to. I don't know who was receiving that message, but somebody received those messages.
He was.
Whether that was God or that was just the energy source that runs the universe, I'm not sure. But those messages were received, and something helped me climb out of that hole.
Yep.
So
right. And that's beautiful, bro. I mean, I love the way you think, man, because even you don't have to be super duper religious to realize something ain't right when you got a $1 billion facility. Yep. And you got people out here that's starving right next door to it, and you got these people up on pedestals like they're gods, and they run the religious institution, and who can come to God or who can't come to God.
There is no way to the Father except through me. Those are red words, which means they're Jesus's words. I don't believe in putting a man in between people and their creator. Totally get it.
And you see they molesting kids, and I'm not saying specifically
bro, I guess we went there. Makes sense though. Yep. That stuff needs to be sorted out and dealt with. Can't have that in the church.
Priest, but I'm saying you have this institution that oppose something, then they find out they molesting kids. You have this institution in America where they making millions of dollars in churches, and then so that's why I love the fact that you're intelligent enough to say it's about relationship.
Yep.
It has nothing to do with religion. It's relationship. And I pray that whatever's true is presented to you. And the only way you're gonna know is if you're open-minded to it.
Yep.
And I mean, I really, 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 really love that about you, man. And I appreciate you sharing that, because people want to know, kind of where you stand with certain things like that. Not that it even matter, because people be mad at me half of the time. I'm not Christian enough. I mean, like,
hey man, no man ever is. And I mean man as in like human. No human is ever Christian enough. That's why Jesus died for our sins.
I be wanting to stick my finger up at some people, but I feel you. I feel you, man.
That's the angle that I came at the church song from. To me, like, church and the solstice that it provides sort of is pretty much what I just explained. I didn't come out and read any Bible passages or claim that I was a Christian or anything like that. I just said, look, man, I pray, I ask God for help, etc., 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 and left it at that. So,
and I added that to the list, so we will get to that reaction as well.
Yeah, which is great. I got a couple more questions for you. Do you speak French? I don't know.
I do not.
Asked. You do not? Do you
British
speak any
Columbia.
other language except English? Except Ebonics? No. I'm sure you speak Ebonics.
I was trying to think of a funny answer, but no, I don't.
You was in the hood long enough. I'm pretty sure you picked up some stuff, man. So, I know, and this is just a question that I had. I noticed that in your video, you had braids and stuff. Who braided your hair? Nova? Or
dude, Nova braided my hair. Nova spent 10 years of her life living in Jamaica, bro.
What? 10 years in Jamaica?
Yo, bro. This girl, like, has witnessed her father get in, like, machete fights in Jamaica, like, sharpening machetes on the street, like, fighting in traffic jams. Like, she knows how to braid hair. Bro, if she...
What?
Her Jamaican accent is like, when she puts it on, because she was around it for 10 years and she speaks like, bro, it is uncanny. Like, it's crazy.
Funny. Y'all should make
convince her to drop a song in it for so long, but she's like, she's like, no, like, I can't. Like,
y'all got to have a little song that have a little Jamaican vibe. I mean, even if it come through in the chorus once and she just go off, in some of Jamaican dialect, and come back, they gonna be hating on her, but it's gonna be fire though.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna be fire. Somebody said, let's see, what's another one? Let me get to these super chats, because I know a lot of people are super chatting. If you don't mind, I'm gonna go through and try to look at them and see if I can catch a few people on the super chat. And see if they have some pretty good questions on the super chat, because I know that these were pre-written by people that we asked. Let me see if I can find this doggone thing. Hold on 1 second.
I hope to have this problem soon.
What's the super chat?
You never heard of super chats?
No.
It's like, what?
Oh, brother.
What? How have you never heard of super chat?
So when you live on the YouTube channel, people can ask you questions and they super chat them, and what they do is they can give a donation of between $199 to $500 to ask you a question. And
Oh,
so
crazy.
so when you when you go live,
so I gotta start going live on YouTube.
You gotta start going live on YouTube. And dude, your fans will love to hear from you. I wouldn't see, this is the thing. I wouldn't go live like I do. I go live way too much. But if you go live every now and again and like do a Q&A about the music song, it's good for promotion. And it's also good to interact with the fans because they probably would love to. And it'll burn you out, bro, if you do as much as me. But if you go on there every once in a while to give a brief, you'll have people that support you through the super chats financially if they want to support that way. And then they ask you questions and they pop up on the screen and so you'll see them. And it's so funny that this thing, I should have opened the super chat earlier, but I'll go through and look at a couple of them because people were super chatting. A lot of them are just saying, hey man, we love you. We love the show. One is saying that they want to say thank you for sharing your talents with us. People really, really tug on your heartstrings with the super chats. I think one just came and shout out. If people are shouting you out, I wish this thing had it from the very beginning. So we're gonna go over that. Is there anything that you want people to know about you that nobody? I mean, obviously, I don't want you to share none that you don't feel comfortable sharing. But like, is there anything? And I know that you ain't that person, but your music is pretty legit, so you pretty much say everything. But is there something that people may not know about you that you want people to know? Like, you don't get a chance to express this, but this is something about you that if you had an opportunity, you'd be like, hey, y'all need to know this about me.
Honestly, man, I've really, in the last few years, really put myself out there. So I think people pretty much know like everything that I want people to know and everything that I don't want people to know. So it's pretty much out there. But I think what's kind of like most important for me is definitely just like there's two things. The mental health thing. I don't think that there's enough artists who stand up or artists, professional athletes, actors, people of influence. I don't think there's enough people of influence who
even regular people, guys, not enough regular people talk about the struggles that they have. One thing I learned, give your testimony. Let people know what you're struggling with. They will hear you and they will understand that they are not alone. Everybody who is suffering almost always thinks that they are suffering alone and that they're the only person dealing with a problem. Something I've learned while sharing my testimony with people is I am not the only person dealing with it, and they are not either. Knowing that there are other people out there dealing with the same problems you are helps immensely, helps you not feel so isolated and alone. Doesn't make you think you have to suffer alone. It's not shame. Guys, we all need to share these issues way, way more frequently.
Stand up and say, I don't feel good.
Yep.
There's too many people out there in the world today that are dealing with too many things, that are unwell. And the worst part about having poor mental health is feeling A, like you're not understood, and B, like you're alone in it.
Yeah,
and that's what's really most important for me to let people know is like, if you're sitting alone there and you're watching me and you're not feeling good, like, I want you to know, like, yo, me either. Like, I'm not feeling good either. There's this weird thing that happens when somebody gets in a music video or they get 1 million views or 1 million likes or 1 million follows or whatever. There's this where people all of a sudden think that guy's life must be this good, or like,
nope.
He must be so happy, like he must love his life, he's got the greatest things going on. And it's just like, people don't realize that like we really are all the same. We are like really just people. I have terrible days, just like a lot of other people have terrible days. In the last 6 years, I've had more bad days than good. And that's what's important for me. I just want people to know that they're not alone in their hardships, and we all go through them. And I'm very proud to be able to stand up and say that I'm right there with you in those trenches, you know?
Oh, that's so huge. When I see these interviews, Ben Shapiro's interview, this Officer Tatum interview, I'm going to be doing the interview with Roseanne here in the future. Every time I hear Tom talk, he is so genuine. And when I see in the comments, there are some detractors and haters that talk about how he's so fake, how he's fraudulent, how it's just a fake like front for a media apparatus. Every time I see him talk, I can tell that he is a genuine person and that he has genuine feelings and he actually cares about the people in his audience, his fans, and everyone else. The detractors in my comments that want to comment and just tear Tom down and say not nice things, like, do us all a favor, keep it to yourself. He's way more of a positive force than not. So that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. I got some crucial questions that I almost forgot to ask you. What is your favorite song that you have made? Like, what's your favorite song? I know it's hard, bro, because I mean, that's like somebody asking, what's your favorite video you made? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, dude, by the time I write a song, make a beat, record it, do the production, send it to my guy Evan to mix and master it, listen to the mix and masters and make sure that's cool, shoot the video and perform it 100 times in the video and release it. By the time I get to that point,
I'm tired.
I fucking hate myself. So, like, I honestly, I hate them all. I couldn't tell you which one is my favorite. All I can say is I've been writing my new solo album lately. I told Nova at the beginning of the year, I'm going to make the best album of my life this year. And I'm very grateful to say that I haven't let myself down. So there's a lot of unreleased stuff in my phone right now that is unquestionably my favorite material.
Yeah, that's awesome, bro. That's awesome. I believe.
I guess that's because he hasn't done it a couple hundred times. But once he does, he'll probably hate it too.
I mean, you see you speaking it into existence. It's going to be the greatest ever, and I'm going to cop that thing. Another thing, your tour. You know, I think your tour got canceled. Somebody said your tour got canceled. Do you have any plans to go on tour now that they opening stuff up?
I had 3 tours in a row get canceled.
Dang.
Yeah, it was terrible. Here's the thing is, like, I can't wait to get back on the road. It's the best part of my job. I feel like without going on tour and meeting people in person and shaking hands and taking pictures and autographing stuff and performing, like, I'm pretty much stuck just sitting in my house, rhyming words in my phone and putting out music videos, which is great, but it's not as good as touring. So sort of the issue that I have is my girlfriend Nova has a really, 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 really acute respiratory disease. 2 years ago, she got like a regular seasonal cold, like sniffly nose and coughing. And that put her in the hospital for almost 2 weeks and cost like 50 grand. So has to be safe for Nova to go on the road, because if she gets this new virus that they dropped, if she gets that, I'm not even going to say it, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, so, it can be difficult.
Yeah. So if things continue to improve and go the way they're going right now, we're looking at probably like a October, November run.
Oh, that'd be good, bro. You gotta let me know, man. I love to dish it out to my people. You come to AZ, bro. You know, I gotta be there. We gotta
shake hands in person, man. I'd love that.
Yeah, we will, man. And I'm gonna ask you where you stay at when we get offline, because I want to know where y'all at. I could probably fly there eventually at some point.
Hell yeah.
I don't want to get Nova sick though. But yeah, man. So we got 2 minutes left. Thank you so much for coming on, bro. I want you to pitch everything that you have. Like, if you got merch, you know, share that. Where can people follow you? How can people support you? How can they get your album? You know, all of that stuff, man. Just dump it on them.
Share it.
So yeah, all of my merch, my autographed albums, I autograph every single album. I pack them, label them, ship them myself. I spend, 13, 14 nights a month doing that. You can get my autographed albums, my t-shirts, mugs, blankets, hats, sweatshirts, hoodies, all that. www.hangovergang.com. My Instagram is also hangovergang. You can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Tom MacDonald official. You can find me on YouTube at youtube.com/Tom MacDonald official, or you can catch me talking shit on Twitter at twitter.com/I am Tom MacDonald. So there you go.
And how do we follow Nova? How do we follow her? Because I know she got music out too, and I listened to one of her songs and it was fire. I was like, dang, they both making music. So how do we follow you, wifey?
She's the best rapper I've ever met in my life. And you can follow Nova at Nova Rockefeller everywhere on all platforms.
Perfect, man. I got so many more things I want to talk to you about, but we have about an hour. I gotta bring you back, bro. We got to do this again at some point. I'd love to do it in person, man. We could chop it up. I don't know if you do cigars or you like go shooting, man. We can go to the range or whatever you want to do. You come to AZ, I take care of you, man. So I appreciate you, Tom, coming on here, man. You know, you're inspiration to so many people. You probably understand it, but you have no idea that there's probably a young brother like you who is in the mud, in the dumps, ready to give it up, saying, look, I have no future. Why am I alive?
Don't give up.
I don't want to live no more. You know, I'm going to take this last Xanax or whatever. I'm not saying you took Xanax, but I'm going to take this last hit and I don't care what happened after this. You know, when I wake up in the morning, why do I care? And then they hear your music and they hear your testimony even now, and just one person, all the music you do, brother, if you save one person like yourself, it is worth it. And you can guarantee money back. That with hundreds of millions, I looked at your stats, hundreds of millions of views of your content has drawn in those young people and got them from stepping over the edge. And so if you may not realize that, you probably do, just know, bro, your hustle, your grind, what Nova's doing,
making a difference.
What y'all doing is saving people's lives. It's not just helping them dance to some songs and you know, vibe in the car, you know, shout out to they liberal friends. It's like people's life and death is in the balance of the talents that's been given to you. And that's why you got the platform you have, man. And so I'm incredibly blessed, man, to have you on. Thank you for jumping on here and sharing with my audience. Hopefully we can cross-pollinate. And I'll have you back, brother. But all right, man.
I can't wait for part 2. Officer Tatum, man. People have been bugging me about doing this for months, brother. I'm glad we got to sit down. So we'll leave it at part 2 coming soon. And much love to you, man. I had a great time, and much love to everybody watching tonight. And I hope everybody's well. And I'll talk to you soon, brother.
All right, bro. Peace, man. Talk to you later.
So good.
All right.
And guys, I think we're going to end our coverage of his video. That was an amazing interview, guys. I'll leave a link to the Officer Tatum video as well as our Tom MacDonald videos and a couple other things down in the description below. But guys, that interview, like I said earlier, the interview with Officer Tatum here, the interview with Ben Shapiro, every time I hear Tom talk, I appreciate his music that much more. And I appreciate his music more every time I hear another song. I think I've only had the one song of his that I didn't really understand, and I still really don't, that I didn't really enjoy. And that was the fire emoji song. But hey, I get it. It's a type of song that I just don't understand. I don't know how to appreciate it. Maybe someday I will. But overall, Tom and Nova, their music is great. Their music is real. You can tell it comes from the heart. It comes from a great place. And again, the Hangover Gang, y'all have been so welcoming and so amazing. Always in the comments, always supporting the channel. I appreciate every recommendation that you've made, and I will try and get to all of them eventually. I know it's taken a long time, but man, I'm telling you, this last year and a half with the divorce, with being a single dad full time, having full custody of my kids, going through the legal process, having to work full time, having to try and figure out how to make ends meet. This whole thing has been a crazy, crazy time, both on the channel and in my personal life. So the guys that are still here and the gals that are still here supporting me, thank you, thank you, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate your support. I don't think I can ever say that enough. So thank you to those of you that made it to the end of this video. I know it's going to be a long one. I appreciate your support genuinely from the heart. I don't think you guys understand. Thank you. If you're looking for ways to support the channel, you can check out the links down in the description below. You can take advantage of the ongoing offers, both with the mug or the poster. You can use our promotion code when purchasing coffee from Coffee Brand Coffee. Highly recommend it. It's my favorite coffee I've found so far. Try it. Use the promotion code. Get a discount. It's got some great holiday flavors out right now, but you know what? I still just stick to blend one. I like my light roast. I like it black. It's just the way it is. If you're looking for a free way, though, to support the channel, just watching these videos, liking the video, leaving a comment on the video, sharing this video with friends and family, and subscribing to the channel all help with the algorithm, all help me and this channel develop and bring you more content in the future. So thank you in advance for all of the support that you've given me in the past and all of the support that you will continue to provide. You can also head over to the Discord channel and join the conversation there, or just kick on over to X, follow us there, and when I meet the monetization requirements, you will be able to subscribe to the channel there for $1. They keep updating the requirements, but you know what? We're going to keep chipping away at it, and we're going to get there for you guys so that we can have more places for y'all to come together, fellow patriots, fellow lovers of music, fellow humans, and we can have great conversations, debates, and interactions. I look forward to bringing you some interviews here going forward. I've posted pictures of it, but it's like right there. But I've got my table set up with an extra mic and some other stuff to support doing some interviews. I have an ongoing poll right now on X, so vote in that to see what kind of person do you want to see me bring on the podcast first. I'm also still looking for a name for the podcast, so if you have any ideas, leave it in the comment below as well. If you have a recommendation for a future song that you want to see reacted to other than Tom MacDonald's Church, because I have added that to the list already, please leave it in a comment below and I will get to it as soon as I can. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Take care of yourselves. God bless, and bye for now. Go ahead and check out one of the links on the screen now to either subscribe to the channel and see the rest of the videos of the channel, or one of the carefully selected videos that you may wish to see that YouTube has used its algorithm to select for you.